I give you the sword of 1,000 truths. Oh. Obviously a South Park reference, but anyway, today's question of the day, I'll keep it short. What is your favorite adult cartoon, if you have one, like the South Parks, the Simpsons, and Family Guy? My favorite is South Park, and I just like the way all the jokes fit together, and I just really like all of the characters. A very entertaining show. It's great, but all of them are good with me. But what's your favorite?
So here's a battle with iRosstein, a great YouTube battler. Check him out. And he has this really great team, and he says he's been working on it for a while. It's undefeated. And this battle I didn't quite know was undefeated, but so we're just having a battle. I lead with Azelf, and he leads with Jirachi. Yeah, the stealth rocks are set up. I fire blast as he T-waves me. And he's going to set up the stealth rocks now, and predicting a switch, but I actually just go for the fire blast again, and that's going to be able to take down Jirachi. So now he goes into Scizor, and I'm not really, too interested in getting pursued on the switch, so I decide to just stay in and go for a fire blast, but he makes a good play and just bullet punches. And I see that isn't a choice band Scizor. But anyway, I go into Gyarados and get a Dragon Dance, and I don't know what kind of Rotom this is, so I think it's maybe one of those bulky ones, but it's another Choice Scarf Rotom. And this is getting pretty old. This is like the second Choice Scarf Rotom appliance I've fought in recent battles. So I have to make sure I'm prepared for that from now on. But anyway, I go into Scizor, and I'm just going to Pursuit, and he predicts the Pursuit, and stays in Thunderbolts, which is an excellent prediction on his part, and he's going to stay in again in Thunderbolt, but I go into Tyranitar, so he gets finished off by the Sandstorm. And that's not good at all. So anyway, he goes into a Scizor of his own now, and I already know this isn't Choice Band, but I'm still fearing the Bullet Punch, so I send in Scizor as Death Fodder. Anyway, yeah, this team can't take Steel moves too well at this point, so I decide to just go into Shaman. I hope he predicts the hidden power of fire and switches out, but he ends up predicting something that's strong against both fire and grass. And I'm not going to be able to hurt Latias with the Shaman. So, yeah, I decide to switch into Cradily, and he sets up a Reflect, which is bad, obviously. And, yeah, I actually did switch Cradily, so it has Earthquake, but I just have to hope that this isn't one of those roosting Scizors, but it actually is. So he gets the Roost, and that's pretty much the game, because I'm not going to be able to do anything to him via Earthquake. So, yeah. He's just going to Swords Dance up and win this, so I decide just to run. But, yeah, I decided to take another crack at his undefeated team, and it is a great team. It has very few weaknesses. So I decided to use my team that I use on Shoddy. And I go with my lead Metagross. He goes with a lead Jirachi. He wishes that I Earthquake. And that'll take Jirachi down almost, or pretty much halfway. And I'm just hoping for a 2-hit KO, and he's hoping that it's not a 2-hit KO. So I go for the Earthquake, and it takes down Jirachi, which is amazing, because he's not able to get that wish off. So that was pretty awesome. He sets up the Reflect with his Latias again, as I take the time to set up some Stealth Rocks. I'm going to Explode, and that's going to take a nice little dent out of Latias. So I go into Scizor, because this is my bulky Scizor, and I just want to, set up on this thing. So he Dragon Pulses me, expecting me to be normal Scizor, but that doesn't really do anything. So, anyway, I get a Swords Dance up, and I don't really know what he's going to go into, so he decides to go into Rotom. And yeah, I go with the Roost, predicting a switch into something I won't be able to stay in against, like Rotom. And I'm going to switch. And I decided to go out into Tyranitar, because Tyranitar can take any one of Rotom's moves pretty nicely. But anyway, he decides to go for the Trick. So I get a Choice Scarf, which isn't too bad on a Tyranitar, because, Choice Scarf makes it pretty fast, and it still has pretty hard-hitting moves. But anyway, he goes for a Leaf Storm, and he's not able to take down Tyranitar. And yeah, I'm going to get the 2-hit KO with the Stone Edge because he didn't want anything else to take the Stone Edge. And that's pretty cool. So now he goes into his Scizor, and this time he did bring his Choice Band Scizor, which is what's supposed to be in this team. But he goes for the Bullet Punch as I go into Zapdos, which, as you know, is an amazing Scizor counter. Bulky Zapdos walls pretty much every kind of Scizor. But he's going to go out in a Latias now, and I get a pretty gay crit hacks, para hacks off the Thunderbolt. And I don't know if Thunderbolt's going to KO. In fact, I have a bad feeling it won't, so I decide just to go for the Roost to gain health back. And he goes for the Recover to gain health back for himself. So, anyway, there's not a whole lot I can do, so I decide to switch, and I go into Bulky Scizor. And I don't really know what he's going to do, so I decide to just go for a Bullet Punch, hoping he'll stay in so I can get some damage on that Latias. But instead he decides to switch into Gyarados, which is his ace in the hole, if you will. And I didn't know he had it yet, so this is pretty interesting. Anyway, I should mention that we both know each other's teams pretty well right now, because we had a battle before this one that unfortunately ended in a disconnect. So both of us really know each other's teams, but I didn't know about this Gyarados. He hasn't revealed it yet. But anyway, he EV trained his bulky Gyarados just enough to outspeed Jolly Tyranitar, he said. So even with a Choice Scarf, he's going to be able to outspeed me with a Dragon Dance. But he can't outspeed a Choice Scarf Flygon, so I decide just to go for the Stone Edge because it's super effective. But he goes into a Latias, and I end up missing, which is pretty annoying. But yeah, that lucky Parahacks of mine, was pretty gay on my part. In fact, looking back at the battle, I don't think I would have won unless I got that Parahacks on Latias. So I go back into Scizor, and I don't really care if he reflects because I do have the Brick Break. People laughed at me for using it before, but he gets Parahacks. I set up a Swords Dance. I set up a second Swords Dance as he reflects. And I don't really know what he's going to switch into, but maybe he'll switch into Gyarados, so I decide just to Brick Break, and that breaks the barrier. And he's going to Calm Mind, and now I just decide to go for the Bullet Punch. If he stays in, it'll finish it off, and if he goes in anything, really, it'll do significant damage. But Bullet Punch takes down the Latias, and now he goes back into Gyarados, gets the Intimidate. I'm hoping I can KO with Bullet Punch, but remember, this is bulky Scizor, so he's not quite able to do it. And he's going to be able to get a Waterfall off on me, which ends up being fatal, because he's going to send out Choice Band Scizor, and going to be able to get a Superpower off on me, which takes down my bulky Scizor, unfortunately. But, yeah. I know he's locked in a Superpower, so I go into Latias, and I predict to switch into Blissey, because I know he's carrying it. And I decide to go for the Trick, so I end up tricking a Choice Specs on Blissey, which isn't bad at all. And I just want to see what he decides to lock into, so I decide to just go for a Draco Meteor to get some damage and see what he locks himself into. And he goes for a Toxic, so I know he's locked into Toxic. And I really don't know if he's going to Toxic twice or just switch out, but I decide to go out into Zapdos anyway. Or, sorry, Flygon. I go into Flygon, and Flygon gets Toxic. It did. But, anyway, Flygon is Toxic, and I decide to go for an Earthquake, because I know it'll do a lot of damage to either one. And, he sends out Scizor, and here I'm afraid of the Pursuit, but, I think he's going to Bullet Punch, and I end up predicting correctly. He does Bullet Punch, and, he hits nothing but a Zapdos. And he switches back into Blissey to take my, Thunderbolt. And, not a whole lot to say here. Yeah. I'm going to go into Flygon. He's going to Soft-Boiled and lock himself into that. And he's going to try to Toxic Stall me a little. But, Outrage is a 2-hit KO at this point, including after the Soft-Boiled. So I decide just to do that. And, he almost dies from that one. And he gets a Soft-Boiled up, which is homosexual. But, yeah, he's just going to go out into Scizor to hopefully I get confused due to Outrage, and I do end up getting confused due to Outrage, and he goes back into Blissey, and I decide to go into Zapdos to see what he'll till the last move he'll lock himself into is. And he goes for a Seismic Toss. So he's going to be able to take down Zapdos, but he's not going to be able to take down the Flygon, which I end up outraging for the win. So good game, and really, he should have won both games. I did get a gay Thunder Hacks. So go ahead and sub him. You'll be glad you did. He's a great battler and has a great team. So not much to say. Rate, comment, subscribe, guys, and this is the Killer Nacho checking out.